Okay, so we're at the new permission and we're going to do a little search. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get started digging. I'm going to get a few targets out of the ground, see what's here. The people that used to live here during the Civil War, American Civil War in 1860s, actually took care of some soldiers that were wounded in the Battle of Antietam, which is not too far away. Not a field hospital, but they just brought some soldiers. The soldiers came by on their way south, the Confederates, because this is the way they retreated, one of the ways, and they decided just to help a couple of them out, and they stayed in this house. Local legend has that story anyway. Probably true, because most farmers did around here. Anyway, I'm almost certain we'll find at least something cool today. Recognize that bush behind me? Some of you might. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. In fact, we're going to crawl under that bush soon. Not today, but soon, I promise you. Anyway, let me show you what I found so far. So far is pretty much what I expected, unfortunately. I have a gas cap, or I have a tooth to a sickle bar mower. Find a lot of these, and they give a decent signal sometimes if they're laying flat. A little piece of iron, probably part of an antenna, I would think, for the house. Got a church key. Not sure why they call it a church key. That's the open cans, old time cans. One bottle cap and one little gold coin, which you probably don't even want to see really. Anyway, here's what we're doing. And if you look over to my truck, you can see there's some holes already dug. Those are signals we're going to check out. Now I'm digging anything that sounds like it could be something, because I want to find out what's going on in this yard as far as the levels and the layers of artifacts. You know, how deep is the good stuff. So we're going to dig a lot of junk today, I can guarantee it, and a lot of iron, because Civil War activity, cannonballs. I have found a cannonball right across the street. Probably 60 feet from here. We're going to explore this a little bit later too. This is a stone that's obviously been cut and laid in here. I think it's a stepping stone. And what I mean by that is, back in the day, people would put stones that they could like step up on and then step into a carriage or a cart or get on their horse. We call them stepping stones. I think that's what that is. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. We're going to dig around here. Oh, another thing. Since I'm giving everything to the landowner, we have carte blanche, which is white card, which means we can do anything we want on the property. It says dig as many holes as you want, as deep as you want, as big as you want, just, you know, cover them back over. So we're going to be doing a lot of digging on this property. I can see places already that, well, we're going to dig out, guarantee it. So starting with this hole, and I'm not doing as neat a job as I could with the grass, but the guy said he just doesn't care, but we will dig plugs. This is a piece of a cooking kettle or top or something like that, and big cast iron heavy piece that could easily date back into the 1700s. We just don't know. Put that right here, cover her up, and I'll fix that up in a minute on the way back. You can see where I dug some of that junk through here. This is my next target that I wanted to show you. This is actually pretty deep. Not sure what it is. I don't think it's a big silver coin. I think it's a lid off of something. I haven't actually looked at it yet. We're gonna look at it together. Oh yeah, so it's got a tin back. I'm thinking that could have been like a rosette or something. Probably not a lid by the shape of it. It probably had an attachment on the back. Maybe it had some design on the front of some sort. I don't think we'll ever be able to make it out because it's silver plated, but it looks like most of the plating's gone. Put that in the bag. All right, this target, I have not seen this target, but it's in the dugout dirt. I think it's over here, so let's dig this together. Oh, look at that. It's a giant sinker. Come on, man. Why is there a giant sinker out here? It's about like a little bit bigger than a big old 6.9 caliber bullet, but that's a good signal. We'll fill that in. A couple more holes. There's some junk there. Let's look at these two up here close. I was working my way back to the truck to get the camera. There's something here. Gravel makes me nervous, but I think it was out of the hole. Now, using the pinpointer, we're going to hear iron too. That actually might be the clay. So I'm going to set it with the ground balancing. Yeah, so it might be the clay, but there's something in this clod. It's junk too, isn't it? I was afraid of this. That is a lid off of something, I think. All right, one more. Let's see, look like skunks. Skunks do that. They've been out here digging, looking for grubs. What's that? That's a piece of glass, I think, isn't it? Yeah, so there's a signal in here, too. I know we're going to find something good today. I hope. Oh, no. Pull tab. Hi. So we have a good juxtaposition of artifacts. And by good, I mean there are at least some old things. We have the old kettles and stuff. Piece of kettle that I know is old, but a lot of modern stuff as well, all mixed in. All right, let's dig together from now on. I just dug an interesting little doodad right there. The machine's going crazy because there's an electric fence here. I might be able to change the frequency and get rid of some of that, but it doesn't really bother me too much. When I first dug this thing, I thought it was a teeny tiny piece of rail from like the Underground Railroad, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. I think what it is a key, a locking key for some type of a piece of equipment or something that spins. Now, I also thought it was really what I thought it was when I first dug it was a piece of typeset for printing, but I do not believe that's what it is. Although it still could be. There's no numbers or letters or symbols on it. All right, I'll try to get you in on the action for now. I promise. I'm just hoping I can find a spot where I actually have like a couple things in a row that are good, that, you know, that are old. This could be old though. Well, maybe not that old. What I tried to do was scroll through the frequencies, because sometimes I can get rid of electric interference, like an electric fence. Those are the pulses going through the fence, but it didn't seem to like really quiet it down. That can be really good for if you're getting interference from another metal detector or something, though. You can completely get rid of it this way. So let's stick with 3. Before I forget, let me show you my settings I'm going to use for right now. With the Garrett AT Max 0 program, right now I have it on 0 discrimination because I want you to hear how much is in the ground. I'll probably hunt with it up around 25 or 30 or so today, because I want to cut back on some of that, some of the noise. There's so much metal on the ground. But just listen to this. Those are all pieces. The grunts are pieces of iron. That's probably non-ferrous, meaning not iron right there. It's actually not too bad up in here, is it? Yeah, see, this area is not as quite as irony as to where I just was. I was down in here, and it seemed like there's a lot more iron. But see, yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bump this back up to, let's just go with 25. That'll quiet it down just a little bit for me. But I'll still clearly hear tools and cannonballs and things like that. And I want to dig as much as possible so I can have a story to tell these landowners, well, property owners, when I'm done about their property. They don't know a whole lot about it, and we're going to know more about this place than probably anybody alive when we're done. That I can promise you. A couple of doggos in the backyard. We'll go visit them a little later. Not today, maybe another day. Yeah, so I'm digging everything, like I said, because I want to know what's here. And right here, this shallow, look what I found. Isn't that crazy that somebody would leave, this is a piece of a plow, I guess. Somebody would leave this, like, just laying on the ground out here in their yard. I mean, that would absolutely destroy a mower if a mower hit it. I mean, it was buried, but it probably wasn't when they left it. All right, just wanted to show that to you. Go ahead and cover this back up and set that on the rock. I've been digging a few things, nothing really to show you yet. I'm just going to go ahead and keep digging until I get some good targets, and I'll show them to you, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is how it sits. I have been detecting for about an hour, and I got a bunch of junk, and I got some good targets though where I'm going to show you that are still in situ, kind of. Not really, because I've dug them up, but I didn't put them in the bag yet. Been all over the yard, digging a lot of pull tabs and junk, which we really wouldn't have to dig, except that that's not why I'm here. I'm here to tell a story for the landowners, the house owner. And if we're not digging those, you know, iffy signals, we could be missing buttons and things like that. And I'm not just after coins today, although we have one or two that we're going to look at in a minute. And I think one's an old one, a colonial copper. But let me show you what we have. Again, I'm going to dig all these pull tabs because that's why we're here. We're here to tell the story of the house for them. This is the junk that I have, and you've probably seen a lot of this. A piece of plow. It's a link probably to some type of chain. Nothing in here new. You saw the Underground Railroad rail. Oh, this was kind of interesting. I could not figure out what it was. It actually gave a pretty decent signal. I thought it was lead because it's super heavy, but I actually figured out what it is. Do you know? Let me know if you know. I'm going to tell you eventually, but just not right now. Pieces of cars, I guess. Half a horseshoe and the other junk. All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and look at the stuff I dug up. I'll grab my bag. I'll bring the machine along and let you hear what it listens to, because it sounds pretty much like it did when it was in the ground. I guess I ought to go get it, shouldn't I? So what I did here is I just kind of went up and down by the road here, and you know, I dug every target that sounded halfway decent. I didn't do a really slow sweep though, so I probably missed at least half of them, but we got some good ones to look at. Big bush, mysterious things have happened here, so I've heard. Local legend has it, mysterious things under that grate. Do you know? You could get killed doing mysterious things working this close to the road. Road. Kill. Sorry. All right, let me show you. Oh, okay, let's start over here. This was my first, well, we're not doing this in order, but this is actually the first one I left on the ground. I'm gonna go ahead and crank that way up so we don't have to listen to the iron. Everything I have out of the ground is not iron. Okay, good signal here. Nice and small, 80s. That tells me that there's a good chance it's a coin, and guess what? It is, I think, or a button. Now, I have not picked up anything and actually looked at it yet. So, okay, that's a Lincoln penny. Flip it over, got a good patina, so I'm hopeful it's a, let me turn that machine off. That's gonna drive us nuts, the electric fence. So, with that kind of patina, I'm guessing it's going to be a wheat penny, so an older one, and it is. It says 1 cent on the back, and it's got little sheaves of wheat on the sides, which you probably can't see very well, but there's little sheaves of wheat there. That's why we call it a wheat penny. Let's go ahead and rub it and see what the date is. Feels really solid. You can clean that with water, no problem. I cannot see the date because my eyes are cattywampus. All right, let's look at the other targets. I'll cover that in when we come back. All right, this was another target. Okay, yeah, I remember what it is. Again, I had not touched anything yet. Do you know what that is? Looks almost like a Civil War belt buckle. But what it actually is, and I can tell by looking at it, again, I haven't touched it yet, that's the bottom of a spoon, a pewter spoon that's been flattened out, probably by road traffic. Ooh, I think I hit it. That's terrible. I actually did scrape that, but that's a pewter spoon, so that probably predates the American Civil War, 1860s. Let's go back into the 1700s. Now, I'm going to look and see if there are handles in the hole, because I can't say that I actually rechecked the hole, but it's not a fresh break. But interestingly enough, it's only a few feet away from what we think is a stepping stone, and you know, that could have been run over by a wagon 200 years ago. All right, we're going to go further up the yard, look at the next target, and again, I don't know. Oh, yeah, look at that. Again, I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm looking at the size and the shape. It looks like a coin to me, and it's really rough shape, so I'm thinking it's probably a colonial coin, but it could be something else that's flattened out. Like this spoon. Boy, that's thin. Oh, wow, that is some thin. I don't know if that's going to be a colonial coin or actually like a wheat penny that someone put on a railroad track. Clean it off of my pants a little. These are really bad pants. I'm going to wear them until they fall apart, which they almost have. Use them to cut wood, actually. Yeah, I thought that was a colonial penny, but I'm not so sure now. That could actually be like a wheat penny, but we'll clean that up and look at it. All right, next target. All right, what was, oh yeah, okay, so nice solid brass signal. That looks like a nut of some sort though, doesn't it? Yep, that's not very old. It's brass though. Okay, next. I think this is the last one actually. This was interesting. I didn't pick it up, but it looks like it's brass maybe, but I'm not sure. It almost looks like it's rusty right there. But it was down a good ways, which means nothing in this yard. Is it a key? Jeez, no. Gosh, that's horrible. That came from those, I would guess. I thought that was gonna be brass. Sounded really good. Okay, so we actually did not find a whole lot of good stuff on that little run. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get some more targets out of the ground. Hopefully we'll have a really good one or two. But if not, we'll have a story to tell. Right over there I was digging, and I actually got a bunch of fence wire. Big ball of fence wire is down about 1.5 feet. So I know the dirt has been moved around, but I'm seeing redware, so I know there's old stuff here as well. Well, that spoon was an old one for sure. Hey, this is a cool little thing that I'm doing right now. I wanted to show it to you. And I'm not gonna like do this today, but well, we might. Who knows? We're not finding a lot else. Anyway, I'm kneeling on our circle here, and this was an old tree. It's a gigantic tree. I can remember it years ago, but there's nothing left of it except roots now. And there's one of the roots. Anyway, I got a good signal, well, a deep iron signal. So I started digging down, and I'm getting a lot of, look at that little, I guess that's a centipede. Getting a lot of little signals in here. I mean, nothing great yet, but there is some old pottery. Look at that and that. That's some old stuff right there. And I'm getting some signals, and it's still going down. So I'm going to go ahead and dig this out a little bit. Now, if this is a really, really hot spot, we will stay on it today. If it isn't, we'll put it on the back burner for another day, and we'll keep ridding the yard. I'm kind of just working my way back and forth up to the house. Not getting every target, but getting most of them. Anything that sounds like it's not iron or big iron, I'm digging. Well, yeah, let's just look at this with a pinpointer. It's getting, see, the signal's way down in there. Over there. That's probably the one I heard. Something big down there. I'm just very interested because, you know, I don't know if it's, oh, there's some bone right there. Nope, that's not bone. That's fruit. Anyway, yeah, so old pottery, big iron, probably a cannonball or a whole cannon. Fingers crossed. I still haven't hit any big chunks of iron, but I'm getting some more pottery in there. Look at that. Is that a brick? No, that's pottery. It's like redware. I'm going to save all the pottery too, because they actually know a lot about that stuff, probably more than I do, to be honest with you. I'm going to set that up on that little thing there. I don't think we've gotten to that thing yet. Well, it almost sounds like the ground, but I don't think it is. I think there's a, I'm going to like ground balance it that way. No, see, there's still something there. Something big down there. A couple little things right there, maybe. Something right here. What's that? Look like I can almost see it, but I don't guess I can. All right, I'll dig this out of here, and we'll keep going after that big thing right there. This isn't too deep. It's right now, just below the tree line. Again, okay, I can see it. With a pinpoint, you can't tell if it's iron or brass, but there's something big going that direction. Let's pull it out of the hole here. Come on. Okay. That doesn't look terribly old, but this is definitely older than me. Two things, one shot. Let's look up in here. Oh, there's some more modern junk. That was down a ways too. That's what's distressing about this spot. Now, when you find plastic down there, animals could have drugged that down there for their nests. I've seen that a million times, but probably not a can lid. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dig this out and try to get down to that really deep target. All right, let's do an update on the hole that I'm digging. I haven't found anything good yet, but it is interesting. As you can see, we're down a good ways, a 1.5 feet at least. I think that clay, that really, that reddish stuff down there, is the natural layer of the ground here. So everything from there up has been pushed around and disturbed, and there's artifacts all the way down to the very bottom. I got a piece of redware just right on the very bottom layer, and I haven't really looked for the metal yet, but we're going to. And just dug an oyster shell in one of the last shovelfuls. If you guys watch my videos, you know that that makes me happy to see those. Those are usually, in this area, means older homes, Civil War or before, trash dumps and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pin. Well, let's just do it together. I'm going to go ahead and ground balance it against the soil. There's probably something right in there. I'll dig that up. And there's a bunch more stuff up in that hole where that metal came out of. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dig around a little bit and close it up. We'll put it on the back burner. It's a good area to investigate. Something was going on here. There's a reason why that stuff's so deep. So what I'm gonna keep doing is looking around and seeing if I can find anything or a good spot, because I mean, it would make a terrible, it probably already is a terrible video, but just with what I'm finding in the quantity. This is another wheat penny though, I think. Definitely got Lincoln on the front. Yeah, it's a wheat penny. We'll take a close-up look at this in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and just keep kind of doing a light grid on the yard, and I'll probably go back over it, not today, but just not really getting a lot of really, well, let me turn this so maybe you can hear it. Maybe I can hear better with the headphones on. Usually I can distinguish the signals just a little bit better than without them. Again, I'm going to dig all of the squeaks and all of the big iron and try to find us a spot here that we can come out and dig out later, maybe screen and sift. Just keep working my way across just like this. A lot of iron, but boy, I tell you, not finding much old. It almost sounded like something, didn't it? There's a big hole right there. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's a little stump or something. Got the discrimination up to about 23. That way we don't have to hear the really smaller stuff, but we'll definitely hear the bigger iron. That's iron. I'm not going to dig every piece of iron because there's too many out here. All right. Boy, we're halfway through this yard, aren't we? Almost. Whew. You gotta get a gold coin. Oh, by the way, in the beginning of the video, that wasn't a gold coin that I showed you. That was the inside to that little lid. Whew, I've been looking around for about an hour, and I've come up across the entire yard back and forth. Not both ways, but I really didn't get much out there. Up here, well, it looks like the hogs have been rooting in the yard, because I guess they have. These guys actually have hogs. You don't see that very often anymore. A bunch of holes open with targets in them, and I thought it would be fun to, one back here, I can't forget that one. So I thought it would be interesting for you to at least see what they are when I see what they are. They're clawed there somewhere. Now, I know some of these are coins, but I don't know if they're all coins. And I'm going to put this yard back. I'll make it so it looks really good when I'm done. Whee! Lost it. Whoops. What the heck was that? Oh, it's picked up my headphones. I turned them off real quick. I'll be right back with you. They're wireless, so connected as soon as I got close to it with a pinpointer. Wireless pinpointer too. The targets actually fell back in the hole. We can go in there and get it together. Ah, it's a pull tab. All right. One pull tab. Oh, that's a coin. I don't know how old it is though. It looks like a nickel. Yep, that's a nickel. Not sure how old. We'll check the date. With any luck, it's a war nickel, meaning 1840s, 1940s, early 40s, World War II era. Let's see. We'll just crawl over here to the next one. That's a coin. I can see it right here. That looks like it's going to be just a memorial cent. Yep. So that's a not even a wheat penny. So it's mid 1960s or newer. Crawl over to the next one. You know I can crawl everywhere. I can tell you that right now. Okay, so this one's right in the top. There it is. What is it? Oh no, this is. I thought it was a spoon bowl, but I think it's actually got little holes in it. Gosh, you know what that is. Got the little holes in it and a lid that opens up. It's almost like for potpourri. Potpourri. But I'm not exactly sure about that one. All right, we'll crawl to this one as it's close. Is that it? Oh no, I didn't get it out of the hole. Yeah, I did. It's just iron in the hole. Nope. All right. I'm gonna have to get my metal detector out on this one. No, there it is. Look, it's another nickel. That is a crusty, weird looking nickel. It's got black on it. And I noticed when I'm digging over in this part of the yard, it's really dark soil. It's almost like they had coal here or something at one time. I suspect this is going to be an older one though, because of the way it looked. God, it looks like it's almost silver, doesn't it? I bet that'll clean off to a neat date right there. We'll check that out in just a minute. I'll check that hole too, make sure there's not another one in there. Did we get this one yet? I don't think so. Was this a pull tab? Yeah, that's right in the roots, isn't it? That's usually not a good sign, but doesn't. There it is. Look, pull tab, crunched up. Well, it's not a pull tab, a little piece of aluminum. All right, let's walk over to this one. It's on the top too. I thought it might be that thing right there, but it's not. Ah, it's a coin. Looky. That almost looks too small for a penny. That looks like a dime. Hey, buddy, come on. So that's a Mallard Duck. He's wild. I don't know why he's out here, but they do have some chickens and ducks in the back there, so maybe he has a friend back there. That looks like a dime, but I'm not exactly positive. Yeah, it's got green on it, so I'm not sure. We'll get that cleaned up and look at it in the roundup. All right, this is going to be in here. God, I shouldn't do this with my bare fingers. Ah, it's a coin. I have a feeling these are all going to be fairly modern. No, that's a wee penny, huh? Nice patina on that one. We'll clean him up in the roundup too. Where'd he go? Hey, Bubba, how you doing? I wonder if they raised them. This is the backyard. We're actually going to go over there and metal detect that too, but probably not today because I'm kind of tired. Hey, ducky. Hey, bubbies. Can't remember their names. That's weird. That's a wild duck right there. He's wild. All right, this hole over here. This was kind of cool, actually. It's a spoon. Now, I don't know if it's an old spoon, but it's a cool spoon. I don't know if it's going to have, it'll probably have the manufacturer on it. I'm not going to clean it up too much, but we'll take a closer look at this in the roundup too. And see this some bones and stuff in the yard too. That could be a pig bone, who knows. I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to come back and check the hole because I actually didn't check it once I saw the spoon. All right, little guy, we're going to come back in a minute, okay? Don't be scared. Couple things here that I dug right where I was finding the coins. I went over the yard really quick again, didn't find anything else of interest. But what we're going to do, I'm going to show you those. I'm going to do a roundup down there and let you see everything up close. Then I'm going to show you something else that's really cool. But you have to wait for that. All right, right here I dug this, which is very interesting. This is an old pewter spoon. Dates from 1700s to early 1800s. That might be part of the other one that I have, although when I first found the bowl down there by the road, but this one's really, really heavy. Just wanted to show you this nail. I dug this nail in a different part of the yard, but it's a rose head. See how it comes up like a little pyramid on top? That's called a rose head. That means it was hand forged, so that would date this to early 1800s, 1700s as well. Same thing with that spoon handle. I think I have another signal over here that I actually haven't seen yet. I found a coin there. I'm pretty sure that's in here. Oh no, I can see it now. Look, sorry about that. That's the last thing you're going to see that I just dug in this front part of the yard. Okay, let's go do the roundup real quick, and then I'm going to show you something else really neat. The coins and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and get my other camera out and get some good close-ups for you, and I'll run them at the very end so you can see the dates on them because I really can't read them. But this is what we ended up with. We got quite a bit of, kind of junky stuff, but it tells us a story that, well, there's a lot of junky stuff here, and there's old stuff mixed in because these are all old. The horseshoes, I went ahead and saved this for you. If you ever find a nail that looks like that, that's actually a horseshoe nail. That means it came out of the hoof right there. And that's the old spoon. You've seen most of this stuff. Ever figure out what this is? It's a horseshoe, piece of a horseshoe that was massively broken, really heavy. I think it's a really old one. This is a spoon bowl and the handle, but I think that's a different handle because that's a lot heavier than this. I think that's older. Coins here, like I said, I'll give you some close-ups of these in the very end. I'm thinking that was probably just one of these that got mushed. This is kind of cool. I didn't really appreciate it when I first dug it, but it's like, you know, like brass, and it's got a design on the front. Doesn't look like much, but it has solder marks on the back. So that tells me that was, there was a pin solder to that, so this was worn as some type of jewelry or something. Quite crude. It actually looks homemade, so I'm kind of excited about that. So I think overall, I mean, we got a little story going here. We've got a couple places in the yard we can dig. Let's go look at the backyard for a minute. I got something back there that I want to show you.
She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere